From the combined newsrooms in Eugene, Roseburg, and Coos Bay, Kval News at 6 starts now.
No, I was crying. I was scared. I was freaking out. I felt so bad for my daughters.
Tonight, an Albany woman talks about the horror of finding her stepdaughters being sexually abused by an intruder in her home. Please tell us the search continues as the suspect is still on the loose tonight. Thank you for joining us. I'm Jacqueline Fernandez. David is off tonight. Now, we spoke with Albany Police and the family who is willing to talk to us today. Kval News is protecting their identity and the identities of the children as we tell this story this evening. We turn now to Kval's Angelina Dixon, who was following this story today. Angelina, I can't imagine witnessing something like this. How is the family doing tonight?
Jacqueline, I spoke with the biological mother, stepmother, and aunt of the children. They're still shaking. They tell me the suspect has been around in their apartment complex prior to this incident, peeping through windows.
It's a parent's worst nightmare, coming home to find an intruder harming your children. It was a reality for a stepmother in Albany. We're not showing her face in order to protect her identity. Albany police tell us the assault happened on Southeast Jackson Street at around 4 a.m. on Monday. That's when the stepmother came home and discovered the door of her apartment was open. Her husband was asleep in their room at the time, but she heard noises coming from the children's room.
And I heard my girls making noises and stuff, kind of like crying, playing noises.
After she found the man assaulting them, he ran past her, shoving her out of the way.
And I didn't say anything to him because I was scared myself.
He escaped and police were called. And while the investigation continues to find this man, the stepmother and her family don't want to stick around. They want to move. The children's biological mother, who was in Lebanon at the time, agrees.
Definitely keep your doors locked, your windows locked, blinds closed, or if you have the pull blinds, keep those closed too, the curtains.
But she says the girls are doing well today and they will be receiving counseling soon.
And the mother of the children tell me police are keeping a close eye on the apartment complex, especially at night. Jacqueline.
All right, Angelina, good to know they're taking care of the community there. Details tonight regarding that EMT who was killed in a log truck crash Monday morning on Highway 126 near Notai. Sarah Sussman was a part-time medic with Western Lane Ambulance, Mid-Valley Ambulance, and was also a volunteer resident for the Lowell Fire District. The union for Western Lane Ambulance says she just finished her advanced EMT class and recently graduated from the University of Oregon. The union says she wanted to be a doctor and was applying to several medical schools in the Northwest. They say Sussman was incredibly intelligent with a pure, happy, and compassionate heart. A coroner has confirmed human remains were found in Wyoming. Those were of missing woman Gabby Petito. The initial cause of death, homicide. The official cause of death, however, is pending final autopsy results, which could take weeks to determine. Petito was traveling cross country with her boyfriend, Brian Landry, before he returned to Florida without her. He was not cooperating with investigators before he too went missing. The search for Landry continues today in a Florida Wildlife Preserve. We're tracking these developments on the Gabby Petito case, and we will have updates for you as they come in right here on Kval News. When you're away from your TV, you can stay up to date on kval.com, the Kval Facebook page, or the Kval News app right on your phone. A snow-capped Mount Hood is just one of many signs that the summer season is coming to an end. A beautiful sign at that. While mild temperatures and sunshine are a welcome sight today, that hasn't been the case over the past few months. Kval Chief Meteorologist Josh Kozart joining us now in the Weather Center with a reminder of just how hot conditions were this summer. Josh, if memory serves, it was hot out there.
Yeah, Jacqueline, as if you need a reminder of how hot it was all summer long. Here's the exact numbers and the breakdown for the summer season of the 90-plus degree days. We've got 42 in the bank for the Eugene-Springfield area, 45 for Roseburg. But just to kind of put things into perspective, on average for the southern Willamette Valley, we should only see 15 days at or above 90 degrees. And the most previously ever seen was 36 back in 2014. Now, of course, our new number almost tripling that. And we've been keeping track of those 100-plus degree days as well. 4 in the bank for the Eugene-Springfield area, 5 for Roseburg. And to put that into perspective, on average through the Willamette Valley, we typically only see one day with temperatures at or above 100 degrees all summer long. So this is definitely a record-breaking summer, as our temperatures are still very much so on the hot side today, but I am tracking our next major weather system that's going to bring back the chance of clouds and then eventually some rain. Those details in just a few.
All right, Josh, thank you. Rain over the weekend temporarily dropped the fire danger in Douglas County to low risk. Now it's back up to moderate. The moderate level changes the shutdown times for machinery used by the public. The Douglas Forest Protective Association tells us they've seen a spike in illegal burning since the weekend rain. While the rain helped lower the fire danger, it didn't end fire season altogether.
We still ask people to be cautious and careful when they're either recreating or recreating in the woods. But things are a lot better than we were a couple weeks ago.
DFPA is monitoring conditions for the end of fire season. Reed says another good soaking rain is needed to get over the hump. President Biden says he wants Congress to double its efforts to help other countries combat climate change. Biden tells the United Nations General Assembly this will make the U.S. the world's leader in public climate finance. He says the goal is for the U.S. and others to raise $100 billion for climate action in developing nations.
In April, I announced the United States will double our public international financing to help developing nations tackle the climate crisis. And today, I'm proud to announce that we'll work with the Congress to double that number again, including for adaptation efforts.
Biden adds the world needs a new mechanism to finance global health security, along with a council that would monitor for future pandemics. New tonight, researchers at the University of Washington are developing a faster, more effective way to track COVID-19 variants. Right now, that process generally takes about 2 weeks through standard genome sequencing. But this new test under development could do so within a couple of hours. Scientists say that real-time monitoring is crucial to stopping the spread of the virus.
But this really works only when you have the freshest data and very deep understanding what is working.
He says in the last batch of samples they tested, a majority were not just Delta, but variants of Delta. He says these tests could be widely available this winter. Hospital capacity is slowly but surely improving across Oregon. The number of patients has been declining since the first of the month. As of today, 944 Oregonians are in the hospital with COVID. 264 of those are in the ICU, which is 14 fewer than yesterday. Statewide, ICU beds are 91% full. New information coming from the South tonight. According to health officials, there were more deaths than births in Alabama last year due to the coronavirus pandemic. Alabama Health Officer Dr. Scott Harris says it's a first in the recorded history of the state.
We have data going back to the first decade of the 20th century, so more than 100 years, and it's never that's never happened before, nor has it ever even been close before.
Harris said according to preliminary data, more than 64,700 people died in Alabama in 2020, while there were more than 57,600 births. For the second time in a row, the 34th Holiday Lights at Shore Acres this year is canceled, all due to the uncertainty of the COVID-19 pandemic. The event brings in around 50 to 60,000 visitors, which increases the potential for spreading COVID. In a press release today, the cancellation of the Holiday Lights would be risky to the health and safety of the volunteers, visitors, and park staff. One father's emotional journey to protect his daughter from bullying has brought him from Central Oregon to Eugene. Kval's Olivia Young shares his story tonight. She's live now at the 4J District Office with more on the issue of bullying in schools. Olivia.
Jacqueline, students here at 4J went back to school earlier this month. But with the return to the classroom comes, unfortunately, the risk of bullying. And it can impact families across Oregon. I spoke with local experts about what signs you can look out for.
It kills me. I mean, I'm at a loss.
How far would you go to help your child?
And I came 150 miles to protest because I couldn't get hurt in Lake County.
William Bowser traveled from Silver Lake to Eugene after he says his 7-year-old daughter was bullied on the school bus.
She was kicked. She had her papers literally tug-of-war away from her and thrown across the bus. She was teased about a crush she had. She had goldfish crackers thrown at her and a banana thrown at her.
But he says the incident was ignored by the North Lake School District.
They would not even reply to me. What am I supposed to do but come over here and try to get some attention?
We first met Bowser putting up signs at the First Student Bus Company on Highway 99. Then again at the season opener for Ducks football.
So why be here at the Ducks game today? What are you hoping for?
Visibility. I need somebody to see what's going on and do something about it. And I'm sure that this isn't just one school district.
And it's not. Experts with Eugene 4J say 20% of teens report being bullied, and they want parents to watch out for the signs.
If you're recognizing unexplained injuries, damaged apparel, maybe like backpacks or books, kids not finishing or eating their lunches.
Once reported, 4J takes a support approach to bullying.
Why is this behavior happening in the first place? And it's almost always the child is in distress.
They want parents and students to bring bullying concerns to a counselor, teacher, or administrator.
If you suspect that your child is being bullied, we really want to hear it.
Now Bowser planning to take his concerns to the Department of Education in Salem and warning other parents not to be complacent.
Speak up. Parents, ask your children what is happening to them.
Now, we spoke with the superintendent of Northlake School District 14, and she declined to comment on this incident. The experts I spoke to here at 4J say communication is the most important thing. So parents, check in with your children. And students, if you're experiencing bullying, reach out to a resource like a counselor or teacher. And make sure to do the same if you see it happening to other children. Live at 4J, I'm Olivia Young. Back to you.
All right, some good tips there, Olivia. Thank you. A Eugene man is in jail after police say he targeted a black man and threw a sharpened pole at him. This happened August 31st near West 11th and Grant. Eugene police say Marcus Crow and a woman were shouting racial insults at a black man, then physically confronted him. EPD says Crow then threw the pole at the man, causing a severe wound. Crow faces assault and bias crime charges. Coming up on Kval News, September is National Service Dog Month. How one local veteran and his service dog are being honored in the community. That story just ahead.